The U.S. should impose additional taxes on earned income above $1 million. 7,000 millionaires paid no income taxes in 2011. I am outraged by this figure. Buffett rule, economic fairness, and politics of envy. All of these phrases should sound familiar if you have been listening and paying attention to President Obama's proposed game plan to get this nation back on track. Buffett rule. We can and we should impose additional taxes on the wealthy and super rich because they can afford to pay. Economic fairness. The poor and middle class should not carry the burden alone. Politics of envy. A policy tool designed to cause a rift between the White House and the Republicans. Warren Buffett, whom the Buffett rule was named after, said, anyone making over $1 million a year should pay at least the same share as middle class families pay in taxes. Buffett became aware of this when he found that one of his employees was paying a higher tax percentage than he was. Jill Kaufman, a millionaire living in Denver, said, I feel a moral responsibility in a democratic society to pay our fair share in taxes. Many millionaires support the idea of a higher tax on their own income. Our taxes pay for benefits such as Social Security, Medicaid, upkeep of our infrastructure, defense and international security, children's health insurance programs, safety net programs like ADC and SNAP, and interest on the national debt. How important are these programs to you? Everyone should pay taxes in order to be eligible for these benefits if needed in the future. The more you make, a greater share of income taxes is taken to support these programs. Low wage workers are paying payroll taxes and other taxes. When they earn more, they pay more in taxes. If the least in our society are expected to pay more when they earn more, why should the wealthy and rich not pay their fair share? The government is spending money by giving the super rich every tax break they can buy. For example, despite budget battles, the US government is committed to distributing more than 1 trillion in money, services, free trips and other giveaways. 2. The money in these programs is designated for the poor, but a larger percentage of rich people than poor are eligible for government money, such as 100% fully paid cultural exchange trips to other countries. In February 2012, President Obama laid out a spending proposal for 2013 that sought to stimulate the economy through government spending and higher taxes on the wealthiest taxpayers. One, one proposal, anyone making over 1 million a year to pay at least the same share as middle class families pay in taxes. That's the Buffett rule. 2. President Obama backed this rule as part of a plan to help the middle class reduce federal deficit and implement economic fairness. On April 16th, Senate Democrats proposed the Buffett rule in Congress, but the Republicans blocked the move. Republicans have written off tax increases forever. Republicans cite that the Buffett rule was a policy tool used to cause division between the White House and the Republicans. President Obama counterattacked the House Republicans' budget, arguing that spending cuts would hurt the elderly and poor without raising taxes on the wealthy. 76 million people didn't owe individual taxes legally because of various exemptions, like earned income tax credit. 7,000 millionaires didn't pay any taxes in 2011. In conclusion, everyone who makes a living in the U.S. is expected to contribute a portion of their salary to the federal government in the form of taxes. Implementing economic fairness across all tax brackets would accomplish this goal. Taxes are used to uphold our country's social programs that benefit us all. Those who are making more should pay. To summarize, I talked about the Buffett rule. The wealthy should pay a higher percentage of taxes. 2, I talked about economic fairness to ensure that everyone is playing by the same rules and paying their share. And 3, 7,000 millionaires taxes in 2011. In closure, there are a lot of rich people free riding on the system. If you are a middle class taxpayer, this should be very disturbing to you. The wealthiest of taxpayers are keeping more of their money than ever before due to large tax cuts enacted during the Bush administration. Additional taxes should be imposed on the super rich and wealthy, and by super rich, those individuals making more than 1 million per year. Additional taxes on the wealthy is necessary to correct the huge disparity gap between the richest and the poorest in the US. Our tax money is used for defense and international security, children's health insurance programs, safety net programs, and paying down our national debt. Many millionaires support the idea of a higher tax on their income. We can and we should raise taxes on millions of Americans, and we should start with the wealthiest because they can afford to pay. I implore you to support the idea of additional tax increase. Show your support by supporting our president and going to the polls, calling your senators and governors and any grassroots organizations available to you. In the words of Warren Buffett, it is time we as a nation stop calling the rich and wealthy. It is time they paid their share and support this great